Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Sorry I'm late, but we are here with Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 6. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So, y'all know when they took the little week break that Teddy had fallen to the floor and he saw Tyriq and Angela's footsteps creeping on past the little door opening. So, child, let's continue. So when the episode first opens up, we see Teddy dressed in his rich man silk pajamas. I'm like, oh, okay, honey. In the office, telling the doctor on the phone that he just had a dizzy spell. Well, baby, that dizzy spell had you laid out, honey. I thought you weren't going to make it, honey. I thought your contract wasn't being renewed. You're going to have to get that together. So the doctor was like, look, you need to follow my instructions. You need to follow my medical advice, or next time I'm going to have to pull myself from helping you. So, of course, he throws his money around and he tells him if he does that, then he's going to discontinue his endowment in Geneva. See, this is what I'm talking about, honey. Money will always pull the strings. Do y'all hear me? Sir, you need to be taking the medicine the way that he advised you to take the medicine. First of all, you don't need to be taking any experimental drugs. Child, this is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But child, let's continue. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tyriq goes in to meet with Teddy and he tells him, I saw y'all leaving the office. He's like, well, is that why the cameras are dark? Are y'all involved? And this is what I was wondering. Why didn't he ask why they were in his office? Because he had this entire dialogue with Tyriq and he didn't once say, why did you come out of my office? What were you looking for in my office? Never, ever questioned it. So it makes me believe that he knows that they have those journals, but he's not letting on that he knows that they have those journals. But that's just my opinion. He said, I couldn't keep spying on her. So Teddy starts talking about Tariq's father and how he trusted him and he needs to be able to trust Tyriq, especially if he's going to be seeing his daughter. It's so convenient how all of a sudden Angela is his daughter. Okay, I'm watching you, Teddy. He said, one day she'll trust me because she trusts you. So Tyriq said, that's not the way to earn her trust or to get to know her. He said, you're right, my boy. Not my boy. I told y'all Teddy might be his daddy, honey. I don't trust nothing about it, okay? Especially after some of the things that were uncovered this episode. So Teddy says he's going to give them a cotillion week to remember. That way, he'll gain and earn their trust. Child, when he came in that office, I was like, ooh, Lance's character is out of there. Do y'all hear me? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm always thinking somebody gonna die. Every time I watch a show, I think they gonna kill off a character. Child, oh my goodness, honey, it's the trauma of it all. In the next scene, Raymond's ex-wife, Alex, was putting on the Ritz in front of the ladies, right? So she talking about how she won an Emmy and all other kinds of stuff, honey. And all the ladies are so enthralled with all things Alex. So she was talking about her show, and then Leah sashays through the crowd. So she's like, oh, what brings you into town? She's like, well, I haven't had a break since the Obama administration, so I decided to vacate here this summer with the Gracies from the Manhattan chapter. So Leah wasn't impressed, okay, because apparently the Gracies in Manhattan a little bit ghetto, okay, according to Leah. So she really was not impressed. Do y'all hear me? So the two of them are having this nice, nasty conversation while Angela is sipping on her mimosa, honey. She leaned back, sipping the tea, because she doesn't know who Alex is at this moment. So Leah says, for those of you unaware, Alex was married to Raymond. Wait, did you make it to 12 months? I said, ooh, honey, shots fired. Girl, I don't know if they made it or not, but he made his way down to New York to ask her for a favor, child, so you might want to check with your husband, because he is seeming like he can't be trusted. So Alex said, thank you for the warm welcome. I know my presence as a celebrity can be a bit daunting. So then Angela busts up on the scene because she heard the shots ring out, honey, because shots are being fired from both ends. So she jumps up and she's, like any good sister, she's willing to help. She's like, well, you know what else is daunting? Not being able to get your hair done. Why don't you come on down to Eve's Crown, child? She started doing a whole big old commercial, okay? So she jumped in like any good sis to help Leah out because she got ate up, okay? She got ate up right there. But nice way to plug the business, girl. I see you. So Angela looked at Leah and she said, homegirl trying to start some mess. She said, I can clean my own house. Well, baby, you need a little help sweeping around the front porch, okay? Because Alex was eating you up. Do you hear me? Moving forward. In the next scene, she sends a text to Ray 911 to let him know Alex is in town. He comes running in. He's like, oh, really? Did she say what she was doing here? So Leah was like, she's probably salty you chose a real marriage instead of a mistake. He said, she's probably just, trying to do what everyone's doing, trying to sip some rosé and floss like the rest of the guests. No, she's there because you summoned her. You should have left her where she was, but now she's here and now this is happening. So deal with it. In the next scene, over at Eve's Crown, business is booming, and Aunt Piggy and Angela, they over there gossiping about Alex being back in town, right? Because Aunt Piggy said she been ear hustling, and apparently Alex was not from the upper echelon. But then all of a sudden, she became this highbrow, high society type woman, and that's when she was halfway accepted, because they still ain't accepting her on this island, okay? But we're going to get into that as we get into it. I'm listening to what they're saying to each other, but Yaya's hair is so distracting. Oh my gosh, I am in love. I am in love with that hair. When I tell y'all I gotta get to Derek J, I gotta sit in his chair. I don't know if I need to go to Atlanta. I don't know if I need to fly him to me. I have got to have him recreate that hair. I love everything about it. Moving forward. So then Angela tells Aunt Piggy that her and Tyriq got the journals of Lewis from 1987 from the office. She's like, y'all are doing this together? Y'all are in dangerous territory. Honey, I think it's something in that journal she don't want us to know, because the way she was looking when Angela revealed that they had those journals, baby, something is not right, baby. And that aunt got a whole bunch of skeletons in that closet. Moving forward. In the next scene, Taylor and her playaways, they at the beach with Nicole, and she's asking her to escort her to Cotillion. So Nicole said, F Lauren, honey, cousin or not, baby, she gonna go to this Cotillion. Girl, I mean, I know you don't like the little heifer, but y'all still are related. Child, this is a mess. And Taylor is just messy boots, honey. Just messy all the way up and through. So then she tells Nikki that she was voted most congenial, so she'll be reading the letters to our fathers. So, that made Nikki feel some kind of way because she's never had a relationship with her father. So, her little glossy eyes, honey. Y'all know how she liked to look from side to side. Anywho, and she was like, well, it's okay if you don't want to do it. She's like, no. You guys voted me and I'm going to do it. So then in the next part of the episode, Teddy stops by Angela's store to drop off some pearls for Nikki as per tradition, right? So then he tells her that Nate reached out to him and wants to get out to be with his daughter. Baby, Angela's stomach dropped. He said, his hearts are with the two of you, so I'm compelled to help him. Yeah, right. You just want to get some mess started up and through this island. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want him to keep an eye on Tyriq because there's a motive behind what you're doing for sure. So he's talking to Angela like a politician and not her father. I'm like, sir, what are you running for office? Like the way he was speaking to her, I was like, okay, child. So she's like, well, if you get him out, I need to prepare Nikki because I haven't told her anything. So he tells her it's not going to happen overnight. They still have to take some things before the board and a lot of red tape. But it's going to take some time, at least a few months. Well, honey, I'm not sure because it seems like it happened overnight. Okay. But maybe that's just me. Moving forward. He's like, I can't give you back the years that I was gone, but I can give Nikki a few with hers. So then he says, and as for you, I'm very happy for you and Tyriq. He's a good man. Baby, her face was frozen. She was looking like, oh my gosh. How does he know about me and Tyriq? In the next scene, Lauren was laying around thinking about her heartbreak, but Leah was like, nope, got to get up and get out of here, honey. There will be other Taylors. Well, child, let's hope not, because she trifling. Dating cousins. Baby, I'm hoping it's never another Taylor. Moving forward, Tyriq and Angela go for a walk, and she's like, did you tell Teddy about us? And he said, no. Teddy saw us leaving from his office, but he doesn't know we have the journals. Now, even she didn't say, well, why did he ask why we were leaving his office? Nothing. She just continued to talk. So she tells him that she scanned the journals, but she didn't find anything, but she did see something about Calvin. She's like, that's your dad, right? When she said Calvin, I immediately thought of his character on House of Pain. I'm like, now they gonna name Calvin. Child, this is a mess. All I could hear him saying was, be breezy, moving forward. He's like, well, why would my dad be in Lewis's journal? I mean, he only worked for Teddy. Well, honey, we don't know that. So you might want to grab that journal and read a little bit about it. He only worked for Teddy, or so you thought. So she starts telling him about Nate getting out and how she feels like it's not fair because there's so many other men wrongfully locked up. Well, child, this is your daughter's father. This is the chance to give her a gift all the inheritance in the world cannot buy. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Do you feel like she should be excited about him actually being there for Nikki and cultivating the relationship, or should she just try to continue to hide it forever? Like, I'm just not understanding. So Tyriq said, let him help. But what about when he gets out? She's like, you know what? I'm good where I am. We'll see. Over in the next scene, Leah goes to visit Teddy, and he tells her, that she's right about Tyriq. So now he's going to help Nikki's dad get out of prison. She's like, prison? He said, yeah, he wrote me. So now I'm going to use this to my advantage. She said, to break them up? He said, obviously to break them up, girl. I knew that, and he didn't even reveal it yet. He's like, when I do this, I'm going to look like the hero. They'll be a family. Tyriq will be Team Teddy again, and Franklin Holdings will receive great PR. But I don't think Angela wants him back, though. And Tyriq not going down without a fight. So I don't know if your little plan is going to work out like you think it is. Raymond rose up on Alex. She's like, nobody's going to see you. They're all in the city. He said, yet you show your face and let everyone know you're here for the entire summer. Honey, she going to blow up the whole spot. You better make sure you handle her with care, okay? Because she's holding a secret. So you might want to be gentle. She said, you asked me to look up Teddy. I came because I can do that best here. She said, so Leah doesn't know you married, you're a rebound? And she kind of grazed his hand a little bit. I was like, say what now? Oh, honey, do tell. He said, it started out that way, but we're very much in love. Honey, who you trying to convince? Yourself, or are you trying to convince Alex? Because, child, you ain't convincing me. This gonna get messy, honey, and Leah gonna find out soon, and I can't wait till it all unfolds. Moving forward. Teddy and Nikki are practicing their dance for the cotillion, and she's asking him about the letters to our fathers. She's getting ready to leave and runs into Lauren. So she apologizes for what she did at the claiming ceremony. And let me just say this. Nikki's eyes bother me. I don't know who told her just looking from side to side and glazing those eyes over equal acting, but it's giving one-dimensional character. Like, they always look glossy, like she's about to cry. It makes my eyes water every time she's in a scene. I'm looking at her and I'm like, girl, you're doing great, but just block them eyes a little bit so they don't be glossy so much and running all the time. Got a little runny eyes, child. It's just a side note. So she said, I owe you an apology too. I didn't mean to hurt you with Taylor. Lauren said, it's cool. She gave me a ton of chances and I ruined them all and took it out on you. That was big of Lauren, but listen, it ain't no way I'm going to let my cousin be with my ex without words for them. Okay? It ain't no way. Honey, it wasn't nobody else on the island y'all could have talked to. Also, where's your brother, Lauren? Where is he? We see him like here and there and not everywhere. Child, we need all the characters to be a little bit more involved. Because he could probably take his storyline somewhere, but we know this show is all about the women. So I understand that. Moving forward. In the next scene, Leah is at Eve's Crown. She got her clip-ins for the 20% off. I'm like, girl, not you using a discount. If you don't pay your sister full price. So she goes, my father told me about Nikki's dad. I'm sorry you went through that. Angela said, look, don't say anything to Nikki because she doesn't know. I haven't told her anything. She's like, I wouldn't hurt Nikki. Now, that part I actually believed. I don't think she would hurt the baby. Now, anybody else? Maybe. A child? I don't think so. She's like, I just feel like Teddy is doing too much. He made this speech about it being us against the world, and child, what'll she say that for? Lauren sat up in that seat because that's their thing, so she was not happy about hearing that. So as they're talking, Nate calls. She's like, I have to take this. You have a collect call from the island facility, honey, because it was like he was down the street, okay? So she tells him that she knows about the letter that he wrote, and all she has to do is say the word. He's like, so what's the word, Angela? She's like, I need to think about how it's going to affect Nikki. I feel like Nikki is old enough now to know the truth. Do y'all think Angela should try and block Nate's release? I don't think so. I think she should let him come on out and let her daughter have a chance at a relationship because she knows how she felt growing up without a father. So let her have a relationship with him if he wants a relationship. If he ain't a killer or a person that takes other people's clothes off without their permission, then I feel like they should have a relationship of some sort, or a career criminal. Then I feel like it should be all right. She said, yeah, I just feel like he's trying to buy my love. He said, if writing your father gets me out of here to meet my daughter, I'll take that chance. Baby, Angela holding all the cards. Do y'all hear me? In the next scene, Alex is getting a hot stone massage, or so she thought. But Raymond's mama is about to burn a hole in her back. So she was like, nah, I don't want the coals too hot. Psst. Baby sizzled her entire skin. She jumped up. And his mom is like, I told you to stay away from my family. She said, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Well, honey, I would be. She said, that's because I'm not trying to scare you. She's like, and you know what? Take a shower because it smells a little fishy in here. Child, oh my goodness. I wonder why his family cannot stand Alex. Is it really because of her status or is it because of something else? Like something is just not adding up. In the next scene, Lauren is upstairs telling her mom about the charity that she's starting, and Leah tells her she's going to get a second shot at cotillion. Of course, honey. How would it look? Your daughter's sitting out and you're the president. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. Child, you ain't doing nothing for that baby. You're doing it all for you. In the next scene, they're having a cotillion mixer / gala, and Angela and Patricia, who is her aunt, they show up. Look at Debbie, still looking good after all these years, baby. That lady's body was banging in that black dress. Do y'all hear me? I said, yes, auntie. Baby, you better serve the girls. So he tells her they're getting moved to the first table, which is the family table, right? So Patricia sends Angela away for a minute to get her a drink because she wants to talk to Teddy alone. So she's like, what's up? What's going on with you and Nate? Because I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. He's like, you need to worry about yourself. And I'm surprised you came. I'm sure somebody on the staff will recognize you. Child, what is going on with these two? I want to know what happened in the past. Let's get on to it. Let's figure out what's happening with the aunt. So he said, Lauren keeps them from spilling my tea. But what's keeping them from spilling yours? Baby, spill the tea, Teddy, honey. I am ready to sip. Pinky in the air and everything. So Aunt Piggy was looking spooked. Then the maid started looking at her like she knew her. Baby, she had to hightail it out of there, okay? She was like, I gots to go. So when Angela came back, she was like, you know what? I thought I was going to be able to make it, but this headache, it's coming out of nowhere, so I really have to go. Yeah, we know you do. So baby, she was gone. In the other part of the scene, Alex is out there having some champagne, and Leah walks over. So they start talking about Olivia not liking her. She's like, why do you think she doesn't like you? She's like, she's holding a grudge against me because I left Raymond a Dear John letter. Child, she trying to let it be known I left him. Okay, it could have been me. You were second choice. And when she said that, Leah looked at her. She said, a Dear John letter. Yes, baby, a Dear John letter. Moving forward, the debutantes come out with their escorts and they put a little hip-hop zhuzh on it, and Lauren was realizing how much Taylor actually liked Nikki, so she was looking crazy. Lauren, please don't start nothing, honey. Just go on, do a little dance, shimmy y'all shoulders, and go have a seat. So Ray looks over at Alex when he sits down, and Leah sees it, so he gets up to go get a drink and she goes behind him. She's like, Alex dumped you? Our entire marriage, I thought you chose me. He said, I chose the right woman. Doesn't matter how we got here. Sir, that's the wrong answer. Okay? I want you to assure me. Not it don't matter how we got here. It definitely matters why we got here. And that was not the move. Okay? She's like, well, it matters to me. I want her gone. Baby, Alex got Leah's feathers ruffled. Raymond was looking like, oh my gosh. Ray was looking like he had some regrets looking over there at her. And she looking at him. He looking at her. Leah looking at him. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is messy boots. In the next scene, we see Tyriq sitting in the car reading the journals, and it said that his dad was found in the car shot in the head, but the story y'all remember was that he was shot serving an eviction notice. So he immediately calls Angela to tell her that he thinks Teddy's been lying about how his dad was killed. Baby, that's all he does is lie, child. That is all he does. Teddy comes up to deliver the letters to our daughter back at the gala, and then he gives a heartfelt apology to Angela. Well, at first, I thought it was a dream, because I'm like, are you actually apologizing to her in public? But child, he was really apologizing. So then Nikki gives a beautiful speech to the mothers that stand in the gap for the fathers. And it really did touch me, but it made me see that Angela even more needs to tell her about her father because she deserves that. Moving forward. In the next part of the scene, Leah and Teddy, they do a father-daughter dance, and she's letting him have it, okay, for dedicating that speech to Angela. Baby, Leah is having a night, ain't she? Like, she mad at all the men in her life. They all pissing her off. So once she got mad at him and went off on him and walked off, he immediately made that phone call. He was like, I need to get Nate released because my daughter is mad at me. I need to get to the bottom of what Angela is doing because everything is turning upside down. So then Teddy walks over to Angela and tells her that Nate's being released as soon as possible. Baby, she is pissed because he made that decision without her consent. It's some reason she does not want him to be released. It has to be more than she hid it from Nikki for 17 years because I feel like her daughter is going to forgive her. So it has to be something more. In the next scene, Angela comes home. She's talking to Aunt Piggy and she's telling her, listen, you're mad at him, But you made this mess. You've been lying to her for 17 years and it ends tonight. You need to tell her what's happening. Meanwhile, Tyriq is waiting for Teddy in his office waiting for answers. So he said, how did my father die? Because the story you told me wasn't true. He said, yeah, I must have misremembered. Not misremembered. Is that a word? Like what? I was waiting on him to say, I must have remembered incorrectly or something. That man said, I must have misremembered. He said he was found in the car. So Teddy tells him that his father committed suicide and they made up that story for the insurance company so they would be provided for. Honey, I don't know if I would trust anything that's coming out of his mouth. I told y'all Tyriq might really be Teddy's son. Teddy was dropping off babies all over the island. Okay? I would not put it past him. So as he's telling him this, he's huffing and puffing, right? And then he falls to the floor. So Nate comes walking in, looking good in his street clothes, might I add. Child, that prison must be down the block and at the light. Okay, I was like, what? How you get over here so fast? He got over there fast as hell. So these two are helping to get Teddy to the hospital and don't even realize how they're connected. Baby, this was messy. So while this is going down, Ray hops in the car with Alex and tells her that she needs to scram, okay, because you messing up everything. You invited her back into your life. She said, look, I never would have answered your call if I knew I was going to be ran out by a DuPont again. He was like, what do you mean again? So then she tells him that his mom paid her to leave or her parents would be deported, but she never cashed the check and she carries it around so she can remind herself that she got there by pulling herself up by her bootstraps. Baby, that mama will be pissed if she found that out. This changes everything, okay? This little bit of information changes everything. So he gets a call while he's in the limo that Teddy had a heart attack and tells the driver to take him to the hospital. Honey, you better not let Leah see your little carpool buddy when you pull up to that hospital. Like, I was like, what? Honey, if you don't get out of this limo and get in your own car. As Angela is about to tell Nikki, Piggy walks in. She's like, Angela, it's Teddy. He had a heart attack. So, child, they make it to the hospital. Tyriq is telling her what happened when they get there. So Nikki and her wet eyes, they're looking over at the mystery man, aka her dad. So as she's looking, she goes, Mom, who's that man? Do you know him? She said, yes, baby. I wanted to tell you any other way than this, but that man is Nate. That's your father. Oh my gosh. And baby is coming back again tonight. And y'all know I'm going to be glued to the TV screen. And that was the end of the episode. Let me just tell y'all this. Our Kind of People comes on Tuesdays, so reviews will be up on Wednesdays. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode. Sorry that this one is late, but life happens. Comment down below and let me know exactly how you felt about this episode. Don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.